Oh,
There's
okay.
just a little bit. No. There's just a couple storylines where I just didn't quite get the appeal and why they did it.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Welcome, friends. We are doing a Stranger Things Season 4 review with our co-host, Calvin. If you saw the last episode, my wife joined in for Better Call Saul, which she will be doing for the next 6 episodes. But our normal program will have Calvin, my brother.
Hello.
Yes. Um, so this was another season of Stranger Things that was pretty on par with the other seasons. And we're going to be doing the exact same format again real quick. That we'll be doing the non-spoiler first half where we give our review, and then we'll go straight into the podcast full show after. So what were some of your initial thoughts and reactions to this, Calvin?
I liked it a lot. I really did. It was entertaining. It was slow at times. That was my biggest
Yes.
problem. Um, but I feel like they're setting it up for something pretty big in the next season.
Uh-huh.
I'm kind of one thing that I obviously like the new characters, specifically Eddie and
Mhm.
stuff like that. But I feel like they just need to stop adding new characters and character stories and just keep with the heart of the group,
Yeah.
and go from there. And I feel like that's what they're going to do in the next season, which I think is going to be pretty on point.
Uh-huh.
But no, I enjoyed this season quite a bit. I did. There's some good stuff, and but there's also some low parts. So
Yeah, for sure. So like my initial thought was when I walked out of that last episode. So I'm gonna preface this. I was in the middle of the climax of Game of Thrones while watching this show. Stacy, my wife, I was trying to get her to not watch it and let's just like roll through Game of Thrones and finish it. And she's like, I don't want any spoilers. So I was like, fine. So we watched those last 2 episodes in the heart of Game of Thrones. And when you just put those side by side, I wasn't as intrigued. I just wasn't in it as much as I should have been. So I will say that first off, but I still was paying full attention. And after it, I was not disappointed in the season. It wasn't special like season 1 and season 3 were. I feel like those seasons, they really had some really cool visual scenes and like ideas that were like different that you hadn't seen in other movies or shows. And this one just didn't really do that for me. It was really solid though at times though, which I'll say.
oh yeah.
So let's give the quick description of the subject for the audience, and then we'll go into our review debate. So this is the description I wrote for this season. Season 4 continues the successful formula of detective action with the wonderful hues of the 80s bringing character to it. It hits slightly darker tones with the new backstories and life in a Russian prison shown. The backstory shown is the highlight of the season, with the comedy and dialogue reaching an all-time low. All while done setting up a thrilling finale season to come. So to par that, I also feel like many movies we've seen where they split that last movie into 2 parts. I feel like this show wasn't to that extreme. Like when you look at Hunger Games, the first part of the 2 parts, they always put the boring stuff in that one and put the good stuff in the second part. This wasn't to that extreme because this one was still exciting and awesome, but it did have that kind of undertone to me where it was like, we are going to set this up for an amazing finale.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Especially with oh my gosh, the lab stuff with L.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of that, and obviously had to come to the end, bring it all together. But yeah, there was a lot of that.
It was interesting, but a little too slow for me at times.
Yep.
And like repetitive. They kept showing the same scenes in there repetitively.
Yep.
So, okay, let's move on to their score real quick. And then for those viewers who didn't watch the last one, our first half is a little bit more structured. Our second half is a little more couch talk podcasty. But going on. So, Rotten Tomatoes gave this season a 91, and IMDb gave it an 8.7. Now, I do believe those scores are a little high.
Yeah.
Personally. Yeah. So, I'll just give you my score, and then you give me yours, and we'll see what we come to. So, for my score, I gave this an 80 out of 100. And then our entertainment score, I gave this a 70%. And then for stars, I gave this 0 stars. And then I'll quickly explain that for the audience, since this is only our second one. Score is like the Rotten Tomatoes IMDb score. It's out of 100. Our entertainment score is how entertained we were throughout it, showing the difference between how well we thought it was made compared to how entertaining it actually was. And then Midnight Star is our version of the Michelin star. So what did you think, Calvin?
Yeah. No, my score, I got it at as 85.
Okay.
I appreciate. I it's a little higher.
Than me.
Because it was very well done.
Yeah.
It was just a little too boring, and so with me, my entertainment was at a 60.
Oh.
There's just a little bit. No. There's just a couple storylines where I just didn't quite get the appeal and why they did it. You know.
Uh-huh.
But we'll get to that later. And then I gave it 0 stars.
Yep, for sure. This is not a transcendent thing that deserves a star at all.
No.
So
it was still very good.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
We got no hate. It's just
No, not at all.
So your entertainment was a 60. That shocks me. That's pretty low.
Yeah, no, it shocked me too. But the whole score as itself, it was such a good, good season. It really was.
So as you're watching it, you weren't enthralled. Like you weren't immersed. There you go.
There was just, I mean, the whole first half with going to the lab and constantly going in there and the same stuff over and over again. I get it. It was the build up for a very specific character. I do.
Yeah.
And it took too long, And then on top of that, it was the whole Russian storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like they put way too much in Hopper and him being there. With me, I just wanted everyone to get back together.
Yes.
Hopper's alive.
I'm glad you said it.
So the whole time I was watching this season, I was like, okay, this is it. They're going to get back. But no, the Russia kept going.
Oh, yeah.
And those little things just kept dragging on and on for me. Specifically, those two things. So when those would pop up, I would kind of go in and out. It was still good.
Mm-hmm.
Acting was phenomenal, but... So that's the main reason why my entertainment was a little lower.
Okay. Because I feel like, for me personally, we're going to get into our highlights and lowlights in the podcast. But for me, the reason why I have mine higher than you is even though the Cali kids in the van was boring and Hopper was a little too long, and then L was too long as well in the lab. I feel like the investigation by Nancy into Vecna's backstory, and Eddie, and with the kids figured things out. That to me made it high enough to bring it up higher than that.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I also really enjoyed the first 2 episodes of Elle in Cali. I thought they she acted phenomenal.
Ooh.
The way she's being bullied, like I wanted to cry. And I thought that was a great story. Those 3 things kind of brought that entertainment for me.
Yeah.
But yeah. So for our score, we can go right in the middle at 82. Does that sound good?
Yep.
And then entertainment, what do you feel in there?
Let's do a nice little 65.
Nice little 65. Okay.
Yep.
And of course 0 stars.
Yeah.
So to rank it, I would only put this season above season 2, personally. I felt as if there were a lot of slow moments that did not intrigue us, and there's our scores from the midnight release: 82 and 65 with 0 stars. Yep. So thanks for enjoying that, and if you want to watch the full podcast, it'll be right here to our right. Okay, I'm excited to actually talk about these plot points because there's a lot. There's a lot to go in, and a lot of bad and good things to talk about.
Good stuff, man.
I think did you make your volume higher?
No, I did not. Do I need to?
I think you made it louder, so it's.
I haven't touched anything. I could talk louder.
No, you're too loud now. I feel like.
Oh.
Maybe I move this. Hold on.
Is that better?
Oh no, you're good. Sorry, I moved my nozzle higher.
Okay. Steve Harrington.
Okay, sorry. Let's start again. All right, I'm so excited to freaking go over these plot points because this season had some good highlights, but also some bad ones that I really want to discuss with you and see if you feel the
Yep.
same way.
Yep.
So just like the last episode, I'm gonna go quickly over the plot points, just to bring the refresher back to you. First off, Elle bullying. That was sad, and I felt for her.
Oh, that was rough. I hated every second of it.
Yeah.
It makes every time it happened every single second she was on screen.
Uh-huh.
I felt like, and every time it happened, I'm just questioning like, why? What would be the point? What did she do to this group of people
Yeah.
that they just, it was rough, but it was so on point. It was so good.
Mm-hmm. Her
You know,
acting was phenomenal.
Elle's acting was phenomenal. Yes,
Yeah,
100%.
love it.
She was so good.
It's funny, after that first season, the first episode, seeing that stuff go down, I was like, this season is gonna be so good.
Yeah.
I felt it through that. I was like, this is gonna be so good.
Yep.
And then it started going downhill, sadly.
Well, and then it hurt you like crazy too, because when Mike comes to California and she plays it off like they're friends and everything is awesome, and you're just like, come on, man.
Lying to him. Oh, I hate it.
It was so rough.
Uh-huh. That was like one of the most, to me, like fleshed out writing scenes.
Yep.
And I feel like some of the writing in this season was pretty bad, which we'll get into.
Yeah.
So second, Joyce finds out about the deaths and asks... sorry, I messed it up. Joyce finds out about Hopper, the letter, and wants to go help Hopper, right?
A little Russian doll.
Yep, that was cool. That was interesting, different.
No, that was sick.
Mm-hmm. Second, we got the whole Eddie and I can't remember her name, the girl who dies, and then the Nancy investigation begins. As I said earlier, this was one of the best things for me. I just like detective work in movies. I think I love seeing the parts come together, and this was one of the best writing moments in the season for me.
Yeah.
Good. Next we got the Jock's search. Now I want your opinion. What's your opinion on the Jock guy? I don't remember his name.
So this was my third low light in the season. It was too much for me. Way too much. I get where they were going with it. It just added too many characters this season for me.
Mm-hmm.
And just I know there needed to be some sort of opposition, causing issues for the group, because it really had. I mean, it was only Vecna, right? That was really causing any issues. It wasn't anyone in the real world. So I get why they were there. It pushed on too much,
Uh-huh.
like specifically the city council part.
Yeah.
I just thought that wasn't needed. We get it. He lost his girlfriend. Thought Eddie did it. Let's go get him. I felt like that was dragged on a little too much. But he was a good actor. I don't know what his name is, but he was very good.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually glad you brought up the city council, because that was actually a highlight for me.
Okay.
Because I liked seeing the city actually showing that they realize what's happening with what Stranger Things has been going on with, the kids. And it kind of bugged me that it took this long for to actually see the parents talking about what's been going on. But I actually enjoyed that scene, seeing that come to the people.
Gotcha.
We got fourth, Will's sexuality.
It didn't really bother me, honestly. I liked the fact that it was in the 80s, and everyone wasn't announcing, that they are, that they're gay, bi, whatever, So I could feel it through him, the pain that he was suffering, because he, it wasn't something that every world, So I really felt it with him and the way he was, he was just so passionate about it, and he did really well with it. This was honestly one of Will's best acting. Honestly, it was so good. But
yeah, I can see that. I
we'll
actually
see.
didn't think about that.
Yeah.
But the sorry, the that was actually one of my things that I just don't care about Will in the first place, and it's not that the story was written well in terms of how that went down, but I just don't care about him. He's one of those characters. If he died, I would not care too much about it.
Yeah,
That was my issue with it. Is I don't want that to keep coming back because I just don't care about the character.
Yeah. No, with me, Will carried season 2. Will was phenomenal when he was taken over by the Danks
The
smoke
mind
crap,
flare.
whatever it's called. Yeah, the mind flare. His acting, and he was kind of like Max in season 4. Max carried the season to me, 100%. And
with
to me,
with the Hawkins kids, right? She carried
yes,
that.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Max is good.
Oh yeah, Max killed it. And then I feel like Will in season 2 when he was taken over by the mind flayer, and it was so good when he was back and forth, that split personality.
Okay, yep.
I thought he carried it, and I feel like so season 1 he obviously wasn't in it very much, correct?
Yeah.
You know, he was in Upside Down. Season 2 he carried it. Season 3 I think he was just kind of there. He had his little tingling, but season 4, I think they're just prepping for season 5. I think season 5 is going to be all about Will.
Yep.
I mean, there's obviously a lot of speculation on what's going to happen, but I think he's gonna carry season 5 like Max did in this season. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're just kind of letting him ride in season 4, putting in these little jabs here and there, and then season 5 he's just gonna take off.
I can see that.
But yeah.
But yeah, it was just not something I care about too much. Sadly.
Nah, I hear you.
And then we get to probably the best episode in the season for me. Was Dear Billy. That was the episode where she does get taken, and then the music, the whole, whatever, gets out of the escape. And if I also recall, I think that's also the episode where Nancy speaks to Freddy Krueger in the jail.
So good.
That was good too. So
Yep.
phenomenal. This is one of the best episodes of the entire series. And it's the only one that reaches that point to me.
Yep.
I love... Okay, so earlier in that episode, Nancy is walking in to the mental hospital with Robin. Robin's her name, right? The other girl?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
As they're walking in, the doctor says, music is one of the only ways that we can... it hits a different note in the brain or whatever. And I remember hearing that and being like... I kind of pushed that one off for some reason. I just didn't think too hard about it. But then, they were able to recall that, and then Nancy tells one of those kids to, give her music.
Yeah. Yep.
And I just thought the whole scene of her running, it was just like an iconic scene on TV of just her running away from Vecna towards the light. I just thought it was really creative and different. And that's like one of the main things I always search for in things, is I just wanted it to feel different than anything else. And that just it was awesome. And then we also get the Vecna backstory in this episode, which is phenomenal as well.
Oh, good. No, one thing I loved about that same episode was Robin. Her little montage, or her little scene with oh my gosh.
The redhead?
No. Robin inside the mental institution, the asylum, talking with the president.
Oh yeah.
Her little, so good.
Uh-huh.
Robin killed it in that episode.
She's a good actress.
She's a really good actor. Oh yeah. No, but that scene in particular really was awesome for me. And then it obviously rolls into the whole Vecna thing, and you're like, oh crap, okay, here we go.
So I want to know, did you? Because the first time we see the Vecna backstory, did you have any clue? Like, did you have any feelings inside that was the boy?
No. Yeah. Not at all, honestly. I had, if I remember right, I had a strong feeling that it was that it was going to be number 1 from Hawkins' lab.
Oh, you did?
I knew number one was a big deal, but if I remember right, I had no care about the kid,
Okay.
because I thought it was gonna be just initially the dad, the Freddy Krueger guy
Uh-huh.
in the, so no, they did well there.
Yeah. I feel like probably most people like me, I was just assuming it was the Mind Flayer somehow.
Oh yeah, no, totally.
Doing it,
Yep.
or some other dark presence that the Mind Flayer created that could like control, and for some reason haunting this house. And I thought that'd be cool, but the Vecna, like learning the truth, was so cool, and it all made complete sense. And that's another highlight I wanted to mention as from the scene is the deaths in this season were also one of the things that made me think, okay, this is gonna be a great season, because the girl dies pretty early. Is it the first episode?
It's right there.
But like
it's pretty
during that moment, I was like, this is gonna be legit. And then every time someone else died, and like the mom dying in the house, it always looked so cool and so gruesome that I loved it.
Oh, it's brutal, man.
Yeah,
It's cringy.
Mm-hmm. But
phenomenal. Well, I guess let's go. So, I guess that's one of my other low lights, honestly, that I have with it is the deaths, because they were portraying before the season came out how there was going to be a lot more deaths of the main characters.
Yeah.
Which I know Max got a pretty nasty beating there for a little bit, but I was expecting a couple more, important characters dying, which really didn't happen, right? There was not one main character that.
No.
I mean, you can call Eddie, I guess, the big one, but
they're always going to bring a character in to kill. That's just what they do. So I said immediately Eddie's going to die.
Yeah.
And I was right.
No, and it worked out, but I was expecting a little more, because I could see everyone. If I put it into perspective, I could see any one of the main group dying that season, and then I could see something coming out of it, and that would be a good push for season 5 and them kind of going nuts, into Vecna and, trying to kill him right off the bat. But I felt like there really wasn't anything monumental,
I agree.
in the death side of it.
Yeah. Well, the finale with the upside down, like fully submerged in Hawkins.
Yeah,
that's legit, and that was like that was the big thing. Even though we were all expecting deaths to be the thing, but it was that, which it's a good trade off, I guess. If
it's fine. No.
Can't have the deaths, yeah.
I'm not complaining. that ending when they're looking over the at the town,
the valley,
and the big old X in the middle, and just the thunderstorms coming down. Oof.
It's legit.
Well, it makes you question though. So, I've heard from the Duffer Brothers that they're gonna have down the road.
Wait, hold on.
Did you hear that?
Hold on. You cut out. Just talk again.
So the Duffer Brothers, they basically announced that next season's gonna be portrayed years down the road. It's not gonna be. Yeah.
I did not hear that. No.
Yeah. So
that's
it makes. And I'm pretty sure the Duffers came out and said that it's going to be, because the kids are growing so fast that they kind of have to push it forward into the future a little bit. But it ended at such a low note in the town burning, and I wonder what's going to happen if that's the case. I mean, is the city just going to be basically going through hell while they're just trying to figure stuff out, and then they, but. So I'm very intrigued for the next season.
So when this season ended, I immediately thought, like I would have bet my left nut that the next season started right after.
Right there.
This. Yeah.
Yes.
Because if it takes a while to get going, I don't see any way the kids have any play in this role. Like the entire government, everyone should be getting in on this, seeing what happened. But to me, like mentally, the only way the kids would be the star of it would be if they immediately acted. And obviously, Elle will always be the reason why they're involved, because they need her. But, which actually brings me to a low light of the entire series as a whole that I've talked with Mom about, and she feels the same way. I know I need to not be so much of a realist when I watch these type of shows, but the fact that these kids continuously are so brave to go out and do these things, just for the sake of saving people's lives, it kind of bugs me slightly. And the fact that they've all gone away from it 4 times and 4 villains come and they just are so brave each time to go do it, it bugs me slightly.
No, I hear you.
Doesn't ruin anything, but
There's no calling in anyone, the police or anything. They obviously have.
Yeah.
They have these portals now going to the Upside Down. You seriously can't go and get a bunch of people saying, "Hey, look, this is what's happening." You know.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like, why doesn't Hopper do something about it? Well,
yeah. Well,
Hopper was told not to tell, right?
Yeah, but if your city is becoming
at this point, yeah,
portal for the Upside Down, and the kids know it, why aren't they telling their parents or something? You know. No, I agree with you. They're in high school, man.
Yeah. But you can't have that mentality necessarily for this type of show.
No,
it'll always slightly.
I still loved it. It just doesn't make sense.
It'll slightly bug me. Yeah. Next we got Elle in the lab learning the history of her life. I told this to Stacy, my wife, right after we finished. After she leaves, to go help Hawkins. And the whole thing was concluded. I said to her this: if you brought that down into 35 minutes, it would have been great. If you conclude it down to 1 episode, I'd have no problem with it. I'd love it, actually. It'd be really cool the way they figured it out by showing her memories. I thought that was... The whole concept of it was awesome. They stretched it over 4 episodes. I don't know how long. 3 episodes. And I was just like... they are repeating the same memory over. Yeah. I don't care.
And I'm trying to remember, and the majority of those memories didn't have number 1 in it, right?
No. Well, the majority was her using her powers to bring her powers back, and then they showed more Vecna.
And then yeah.
That was
I feel like if they just had the Vecna scenes, and they could have toned that down a little bit with the whole lab and her backstory, because I felt like we had a good grasp on her backstory, right?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, I felt like I didn't learn much new when her backstory, but all the Vecna, that was obviously needed, and it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I have a perfect analogy here. Those scenes are like a Rocky training scene for her powers. That's what they were. Rocky training scenes are what, 2 minutes?
Yeah.
They made it 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we did not need it.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
That's did you have any sadness when the doctor died?
No, not at all.
You don't care about him? Okay.
No, I didn't really care for him all that much, honestly. I don't think I had any feeling for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because how did he die in the first one? Or how did he supposedly...
The Demogorgon ate him. It looked like...
Ate him, right? Well, we didn't see it, right?
He jumped on him, and you're like, he's dead.
Yeah. Okay. And so I really had no idea he was coming back, or I had no feelings, so I kind of totally forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
And then just watching it, there was nothing there for me.
Yeah. I actually feel like he is one of the most well-written characters in the fact of I don't know his desires, his motives.
Yeah.
Like I still don't feel like I understand him necessarily. Like, how evil is he actually, or how good is he? You know what I'm saying? And that's
I get that.
That's my problem with him is I don't know how to feel, to be honest.
I guess that's true, because does he actually care about Elle? I guess I did question that, because he was so worried about her leaving and taking over her powers and helping out, but he was never okay with it. He wanted her to stay longer and become more well-rounded with her powers and get back at full strength. But it always seemed off. It didn't seem like love. It seemed like there was a second story coming out of it. But I don't know.
Yeah,
I never really.
It's just a constant back and forth. So
yeah,
I mean, I'm interested in what the Duffer Brothers say about it, but I feel like the majority feeling is hate him, right? That's the majority because of Elle's perception.
Yep.
Okay, next we can get into Hopper's near escape and then the rescue mission, which took a lot of time. So the rest, it took too much time. Because, but that's the thing. The only reason why I feel like it took too much time is because we wanted him back in Hawkins, right?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, the actual.
I wanted I
Yeah.
wanted that meetup between Elle and Hopper
Yes.
so bad.
Yep. Yep.
I wanted that because everything about dude, another part with Elle in California when she gave her presentation about a hero, about her
Yes.
dad, and
Yes.
them just ripping into her. Oh, dude.
I hate it.
It was rough.
So brutal.
Because that relationship, Hopper and Elle, I love it.
She
The
needs him.
acting is beautiful. I mean, it was so good.
And that's the highlight of season 3, right?
Oh, 100%. Yep.
Phenomenal.
Yep. But the Russia, and it just felt like it was just so fast paced. She gets this doll, she figures he's in Russia, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go to Russia, let's get this money. It just didn't seem to flow as well. It just kind of boom, 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 boom. We're in Russia, okay, And then when they get to Russia, the conversations between Hopper and the one prison guard who tried to get him out.
The God of a
I can't
Thousand
remember.
Faces.
Yes. That whole relationship just seemed to drag on for me. They had a couple scenes where they would talk for, I swear, 20 minutes.
They spent too much time on that.
Just too much time together. And he might be a huge part of the next season. I don't know.
Yeah. So, we can't bash that too much yet.
No, and I don't know yet. But I just felt like the Russia and the prison was just a little too long. But when it got into the heat of stuff with the Demigorgons and, it was cool.
Yep. Fun. I actually really enjoyed the Hopper near escape scene when he has to like break his leg to get the chain off.
Yeah.
And then,
That's brutal.
And I really did enjoy the God of a Thousand Faces guard.
Yeah.
I love the way he talks, and
he's an awesome actor.
Yeah, I just like how I like the concept of a guard who's getting paid to escape his prisoner. I like that. And then they have to help each other get out. I thought that was pretty good. But yeah, I just wish he got out at that moment.
Yeah.
And then that was done. I think if that happened, kudos, great, love it.
Yeah. Yep.
That's another thing we have to talk about, which I'm sure you're on the same page. Yuri, the pilot, annoying.
Yep.
The worst?
Oh, 100%.
The worst. Yeah, the worst.
Yeah.
He was funny.
He
like
had
the
some
first
fun.
5
He
minutes.
had some fun lines.
Yeah.
Talking about his helicopter, and wasn't he talking about it like a lady giving her pleasure or something? Yeah. I mean, he had some funny stuff, but he was a little too much.
It felt like a Disney Channel actor. That's what it felt like to me. Bugged me. Okay, next, and the last plot point, which has a lot of points, but they prepare for the battle. Eddie's death, and Crack and Hawkins destroying everything, destroying a lot of things. So this is my issue. I'm a purist when it comes to things need to make sense at all times, right? You can't just have something be a little blip that doesn't make sense just for the purpose of furthering a story. Everything has to make sense. And it all has to feel good to you as well.
Yeah.
My problem is it bugs the crap out of me. Eddie's death bothers me. Eddie did not need to go back into the Upside Down.
Yeah.
Okay, there is no reason why that had to happen. He easily could have escaped out, and then the kids would be fine with the bats because the bats are there already. It was so stupid to me. Do you agree with that?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
Were they just looking for him to be the hero, But to me, I felt like there was no need for a hero at that moment.
There was no need. It was so bad. As soon as he left, I immediately looked at Stacy and was just like, this is so stupid. He's going to die for no reason.
Yeah, they just wanted to give him a proper death.
Uh-huh.
But, it didn't work for me.
No. I'll pass on that. And then I did Kraken Hawkins. Here's another little light. I don't enjoy when the choreographer makes fight scenes look stupid. I think it all needs to look real. Like in Obi-Wan Kenobi, the chase scene with Leia when they're chasing, just choreograph it so it looks so the spacing between the people trying to grab Leia looks correct in time.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And the Vecna fight, when they were shooting him with the shotgun, if whoever told him how to react to the shotgun blasts, I know this is minute, but it bugs me. If they told Vecna, the actor, every time the shotgun blast hits you, actually look kind of, look
like you're getting
look like you're getting hurt, so that you can't get up and walk towards them. Because his face looked fine, and like he like slowly walk towards them and then shoot, and fire. And it just looks so dumb to me. It could have been fixed with just a small little thing.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how it ends. But then we also got, obviously, the reunion of everyone, which was happy and great.
Yeah. No, that whole battle sequence was pretty awesome. I love when things come together, when a group comes together and it all works out. They have different plans, different, things that they got to accomplish to, get the ending that they're wanting. And I loved it. I loved how everything worked out with the kids in the real world and how they're communicating with the ones in the upside down, and how everything was, how it comes to fruition and everything kind of ended with them just racking Vecna with Molotovs and shock. I mean, it was so cool. I loved it.
Was cool.
I did love, no, it was cool with those couple things that kind of tried to screw up the plan, like the Jock's buddy taking out Erica, causing that little rift.
Oh yeah.
And then the Jock beating up Lucas. And just having, and you're just sitting there going, just stop. They're trying to save the world. Just get out, But there's obviously, I mean, it was so perfectly written in my eyes that it just worked out, and it was good. But
yeah. And he's dead, right? The Jock died.
Oh yeah, you get ripped in half.
Oh yeah, that's so weird.
Yeah,
that made no sense,
portal
right?
The portal opens. I mean, it was the coolest death I think in the dang series. But the portal opens up and he just rips and melts in half.
That's whack. Wouldn't he just fall through into the upside down?
I don't know, but it tore him up.
It tore him up.
Burnt him and burnt him and melted his in. It was so cool.
That was
But I wasn't expecting that death. Mm-hmm. I thought he was just gonna fall in, but no.
And then the guitar scene was really cool too with Eddie.
Oh yeah, that was entertaining. No, again, this season did well with the music. That's the one thing I love about the whole '80s vibe. Every season's got some perfect musical addition, kind of like season 3 with Never Ending Story.
Yeah,
love it. Dusty Buns.
So good.
It's so good, dude. But no, this season did justice with music. I loved it. It was all good.
Oh, I totally agree. I feel like being the Duffer Brothers, it'd be so fun to just be able to create, just be able to create what's in your imagination and actually put it on the screen.
Yeah.
Like the thought of Eddie on top of RV. Dark upside down playing rock music. Like just actually be able to create that would be so fun. Yeah. So next up we got our highlights and lowlights, which we've already pretty much gone over.
Yeah.
But I think I got a couple I want to bring up that I did not yet.
Yes.
This was probably my biggest low light, which is two-parter. Well, the main part is I felt like the writing of dialogue was at an all-time low, which I explained in my in the intro to this. But I felt like the dialogue was bad at many times, and the worst line of the entire show and probably the entire series is when Will is telling Mike, "You're the heart." The way he says it, and it's just like the most overused type of thing. You're the heart, Mike. You're the heart. Hold on. Remember, you're the heart. Oh my gosh. I don't know who said, "Hey guys, Duffer Brothers, this is amazing. Keep this in your dialogue. Roll with that." What a phenomenal line. No. Horrible. It honestly ruined that moment. That entire thing was kind of plagued by that line to me. Like, that's what you're gonna have him say? Did you feel the same way? Or did it kind of roll over you?
No, it rolled over me, 100%. And then looking back on, it, I'm like, yeah, that was
That's
pretty
bad.
yeah, it was pretty bad.
It's like a Kingdom Hearts line, dude.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Super cheesy,
Yeah.
super Disney-esque.
Uh-huh.
So did you like that whole sequence though, with Will showing him the painting and
No. Well, I
you didn't
liked
like
I
it?
liked the idea of it. I just didn't like the dialogue that
Okay, yeah,
matched with it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
I
you said
gotcha.
something else, sure.
Yeah.
Like I like how they recalled back to Dungeons and Dragons. I did like that.
Yeah. No. Yeah. 100%.
But then he called him the heart there too. That bugged me.
Yeah.
Say something else. I don't know.
Yeah. No. I kind of hope because I like that whole scene. I liked the idea of Mike being the leader, and it worked out great because that's kind of how it was.
Mhm.
Because if you look at it, it's kind of like a big old Dungeons and Dragons story throughout the whole thing.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I'm curious on how they're gonna. Are they gonna incorporate Dungeons and Dragons hardcore in the next season?
Uh-huh.
But no, I thought it was well written for what it was. Obviously, the lines were
Yeah. And
pretty.
it was a little too on the nose.
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
They don't have to explain it to that extent, but
Yeah, no, I got you.
remember, you're the heart. Sound like Sora talking to Goofy.
Yeah, no, totally.
Um, but did you see that? Did you see that foreshadowing that people mentioned how in the first episode, Dustin rolls an 11 against Vecna and loses?
Yeah.
Okay. I wonder if that'll play. I don't know. That might have been what happened at the end of this season because Vecna said you lose still, even though he lost that battle.
Yep.
Or is it going to be an overarching thing where she loses to Vecna?
Yeah.
Maybe like they both kill each other. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe.
So we'll see if that is what came to fruition at the end of this season, or if that's the next season type of thing.
Next season. Yep.
Yeah. But that was cool when we saw that.
Yeah.
Do I have anything else? Okay, I did not enjoy Jonathan's storyline at all in this season.
Jonathan and his little hot stoner buddy was not fun for me at all.
No.
Yeah, there were some funny parts, whatever, but the stoner buddy saying "my dudes" every 5 seconds, just over the top, man. I mean, the best part of him was when they go to the pizza shop in Utah or whatever, and he's talking to the other worker.
Yeah.
That part was hilarious, But overall,
funny.
it was too much of the highness, and
Mhm.
it just Jonathan felt way different in this season too.
Yeah, definitely. So that makes me lead to another thing. Do you want Nancy to end up with?
Oh, it's always been Steve.
You want her to end with Steve? Okay.
I'm on TC. So Steve's my favorite character, hands down. I love Steve. Steve and Dusty's relationship, and now Robin is becoming very high on my marks with that little trio.
Yeah.
So good. And then a little bit of Erica sprinkled in because she has that sass. But Dustin and Steve's relationship from season 2 on is just perfect. The whole babysitting vibe, and then season 3 is when they meet up again at the ice cream shop and they have this weird little handshake. I love it. It's so good, that relationship. So
then
for
the
me,
DVD too. They work at the DVD
and
now.
then the DVD.
Okay.
Yep.
That was good.
So no, I hands down Steve is my favorite, and I honestly thought what was going to happen was I thought Steve was going to die this season, honestly.
A lot of people
I thought he was gonna.
said that.
I thought he was gonna die this season, and then I thought it was gonna end up Nancy kind of going nuts in the next season because love Steve over Jonathan, type deal. But I don't know. I was really expecting him to die though, and it didn't happen, which I'm happy about. But
with this whole romance arc, it's leading me to believe that Steve will never die now.
Well, he better not. And so why do you say that?
Well,
because I feel like Steve is getting the shaft in every season.
You think so?
Oh yeah, he can't find love. He's constantly puppy dogging over Nancy, which he can't get Nancy because of Jonathan. And then he with the whole Robin and going after the girl. She kind of gets the girl in the end, and he's the one stuck with the babysitting. I
Okay,
just
that's
feel
true.
like
True.
he's always
So you think
just
he's gonna get the shaft again? You're saying it's a median. It's gonna keep reverting to that.
I think so.
Okay.
No, no, well, no. At the end of season 5, I think he's going to. The
Win.
way I see what's going to happen is I think he's going to get a win, save
Oh, okay.
Nancy, but I think he's going to die.
Oh.
That's what I think what's going to happen in season 5. But I have no idea
Jeez.
now because I thought a lot more people were going
Brutal.
to die in this season.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to get to this epic moment that he's going to be a legit hero, sacrifice himself, and I think that's going to be a big factor in the group, taking out Vecna or whatever. But
So I have 2 reasons why I don't think that's the case. I think
Okay.
this show has not been a show that kills main characters, and I know that they can change it.
obviously,
They can change that for the last season.
yeah,
But
they could.
I just, from what we've seen, that's not the case. And then second, I never had this thought until this season. So the first season was Steve and, oh my gosh, what's her name again? Nancy.
Nancy. Yeah.
And then they made us like Nancy and Jonathan until, through season 3. And there was there was no reason to believe that Nancy would get back with Steve through season 3. But now at this season,
100%. Yeah.
they are now showing.
Yeah.
They now I feel like the Duffer Brothers realized that everyone likes Steve more than Jonathan, so they've now reverted them. Now we like Steve a lot more than Jonathan. I think that riff has caused even more in this season, and I think Steve will finally win and have Nancy in the end.
Gotcha. No, I can
With
see that.
Jonathan, as he's now a loser, he seems pretty
Yeah. I've never been a fan
unmotivated
of
to do
Jonathan.
things.
Yeah.
I don't love
totally.
Jonathan, but I did like Jonathan and her together because of that first season. But
Oh, I gotcha.
now this season now I don't care about Jonathan and Nancy. I thought I did throughout it, and I was like, actually, you know what? Screw this.
Yeah.
Steve, be with her.
Yeah.
So that's my feelings towards that.
Yeah. I gotcha.
And then let's see. I think that's pretty much all I got for my highlight. Did you have anything else? Highlights or lowlights that you needed to bring up?
I don't think so.
Uh-uh.
I guess my main thing, my biggest highlight of the season is just Vecna.
Mhm.
And I don't know if we really talked about that, but his story, the way it comes to, I mean, if you go through the season, because I've watched it twice now, if you go through the season, he looks like this innocent worker at the lab, and then once you get to the end of it, his facial expressions, his demeanor is just evil to the core. It's so good. And then his whole backstory, and then his whole story inside the Upside Down, where he's basically controlling stuff. I want to know more about the Upside Down, 100%.
Okay.
Because I think it just kind of portrayed him going in and then kind of taking control of the Mind Flayer, right? And then he kind of is now the ruler of the Upside Down, right? See, yeah. So I want to know more about that. I want to know how he controlled the Demigorgons, everything, And then also, the time lapse.
Uh-huh.
I really want to know more about that. Just
wait.
stuff like that.
I thought I knew you were talking about. What are you talking about? The time lapse?
Oh, just with the house. When Nancy was in the Upside Down, everything happened like 4 years ago, and the house was still in that time.
Oh, yes.
You know what I mean? That time frame. Nothing seemed to. It wasn't in the now.
Yeah.
It was always in the past.
It was when Will was taken.
When Will was taken.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was definitely brought in for this next season. That's going to play some role, I'm assuming, right?
But what was that?
I said that is definitely going to play a role in this next season, I'm assuming, since they brought that in.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
That'll be
I just
interesting
want them to elaborate so much more on the Upside Down.
Uh-huh.
They gave me enough to be interested, and I love it. I truly do. but
Gotcha.
I need to know. I need to know more. Because why? So this was another low light for me. So where was the Demigorgons and the Demidogs? You know,
Yeah.
where were they during the season? It was bats. Okay, that bats were cool. I loved
But
it.
where's the
But where was the Demigorgon, the Demidogs? There was tons of them in
Mhm.
the second season.
second one? Yeah.
So where were they all out? So just stuff like that. I'm very curious on if they're going to talk about that. And
Or if it was just went over their
yeah, I
heads.
don't know. Yeah, because if I remember right, when Vecna was telling his backstory and going into the Upside Down for the first time, you actually see a demidog in the distance messing around.
Mhm.
So it's not like I don't think he created them; they were already there.
Yep. Yep.
So I just want to.
No.
It intrigues me,
Mhm.
but
Yeah, I hope they do explain the kind of the origin of it.
I'm looking for that. Looking forward to that. But Vecna looked awesome. I had no issues with his look, his hand, and the way he kills people, and
Mhm. Looks cool.
it's brutal, so brutal.
Stacy's family actually knows the makeup artist of Vecna,
That's
the
awesome.
person who does Vecna's makeup. Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, and then the clock. I love little things like that.
Yes. Well, then you
The
also
four
got
chimes, the
you also
four-
got the DVD, the old Blockbuster. You know how they're like using movies to describe things, right, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then having Elle in the pizza parlor, in the freezer. They do really good at creating cool aesthetic things, using the time to create it. Or the clock wasn't really an '80s thing, but they find a way to make things aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah. No, totally.
And different, which I will always appreciate.
Mm-hmm.
So this is something else I wanted to ask. So we've gone through 4 seasons, and every season, except the first season probably. But anyways, who is your favorite add-on to the cast?
Ooh. So who's the add-on we're talking about? Are you talking about like Max, Robin,
Yeah, I got
Eddie, right?
Yep, those guys, those people.
Probably Robin, as of right now. I liked her in season 3. She was all right, but definitely in season 4, she grew on me quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And that relationship with her and Steve, I love it.
Me too.
So probably Robin. I loved Eddie. Don't get me wrong, but that was kind of a one shot. Now he's dead. What else is gonna?
Goodbye.
The
who else was that? The what's his name? Billy. I like Billy.
Oh, no, Billy was
I like Billy too.
No,
But
I forgot about him.
I think I do have to give Robin second, Billy third, and Eddie fourth actually. But don't get me wrong, I like all of them a lot. But
Yeah.
I don't know why, and I'm sure you're not gonna like him because you usually don't like pansies. But I like Sam in season 2. To me, season 2 was only good. Samwise from Lord of the Rings. I don't know his name.
Yeah. I got you, Bob.
Yeah, Bob.
Yeah.
So I rewatched the show, and the whole vegetables being destroyed with the black ooze, that went too long with Hopper. And then that's also when Hopper and Elle are fighting. And then that season was not great to me. Oh yeah, then you also got Dustin with the baby Demogorgon, the Demidog, right?
Yeah.
Just a lot of
Slug.
things. The Slug, yeah. That's my least favorite season. I still think it's pretty good. But to me, the only saving thing really was Sam, whatever his name is.
Yeah. Bob.
Yeah, it's Bob. It's really basic.
Yeah.
And his death was probably my saddest death, honestly, in the whole show.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I hate that.
Because he's just
He's so nice, smart. He cares so much about Joyce, and he wants to help the kids. He's so nice. You usually don't like pansies, so I wasn't sure if you like him. And
no, he's a good pansy.
He's a good pansy, okay. But I think I have to give him the edge over Robin.
Yeah, I can give you that.
Slightly.
Yeah.
And I'm sad he's dead, but
it's hard for me to give it to Bob. But no, Bob was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sequence with Bob and trying to figure out what all the what Will drew, the maps and the vines, or the tunnels, and him trying to figure it out. I love that. The puzzle,
Yes, the
when
puzzle
puzzles
was
and
cool.
stuff, I love puzzles. I love
Mm.
puzzles.
As long as it's not an object that
Yeah,
perfectly fits into a keyhole that they
yeah,
must
yeah,
use as a key, that bugs
yeah,
that bugs me.
yeah. Yep.
I just watched something where that happened. I was like, "Are you kidding me? That's the best you can give me." Um, so okay, and then lastly, give me your rankings of the seasons so people know.
Just in order.
Yeah,
I think season 1 is my favorite,
yeah, it's so hard
and then
for me.
it's hard. It's hard. Season 1 and 3 was hard for me, but I
Mhm.
think I got 1 and then 3, 4 and then 2,
Okay, yep.
just for entertainment value.
So we're the exact
But
same, except I have 3 and 1s. I have 3 first.
oh, okay. No,
Yeah,
I could see that though.
mm.
That's
3, 1, 4, 2. Yeah.
yeah. My biggest thing was season 2, and I think season 2 had some of my favorite moments though. Like, I'm serious. I love Will in that season.
Mm.
With him being possessed and him being in the lab and freaking out and screaming
Oh
and then
yes, yes, that was a good.
realizing he's calmed down. He's like, oh crap, I'm about to get caught. And then he's like, oh, no, your mom.
Mhm.
He's so good in that. So those types of
That's
things.
true. Yeah, he does so
But
good.
he kills it, man. I loved him in that. So that's why I'm excited for season 5, because he wasn't really in this season.
Yeah, and they
He's just
foreshadowed him again a little bit, saying I'm
oh
still
yeah.
connected. Yeah.
Yep. So I think he's gonna kill it.
I feel like 3 and 1 are both so well written, and just like there's no real flaws throughout it. But the thing with
Yeah.
season 3 that I give the edge is I love Hopper, Mike, and Elle.
Okay.
It's so funny, and
Yeah.
just for that entertainment value, I have to give it the edge. Even though I
Yeah.
feel like they're both very baseline, like pretty
Yeah.
solid together on the same way. But
Yeah.
I love Hopper in that. That's the season where he really came through for me.
Oh yeah.
Which again, I do want to say, I have to give Hopper my favorite character of the base.
Really?
Yeah, I love Hopper.
Okay. Nice. Okay.
He's
there's nothing
a
wrong
nice
with that.
guy.
Yeah.
He's brave. He's hilarious in season 3. I like him a lot. He's also one of the best
Okay.
actors as well. I
Yeah,
might have
he's
to
pretty
give
good.
him the best actor. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we can follow this. So we're gonna have to wrap up here, but just like in Better Call Saul, me and Stacy, we kind of made predictions for the next episode. And what are
Okay.
your predictions for the next season? In
I
very
have
general terms.
I know that this is my issue I'm having. So, like you said earlier, I really thought that the next season would just be immediately we're starting in.
Yeah.
You have the cast on that hill looking over the city, and it's going to continue. But man, I want to find that quote, but I'm pretty dang sure that the Duffer Brothers came out and said the kids are getting older, so we're going to have to push the years down the way.
Mhm.
It's not going to be just immediately after season 4. So dude, I
Fortunate.
have no idea. I really don't. The only thing I see, and I can play along with this all day long with, I can see Will dying. I could see Mike dying. See, so that's another thing that I can see. I could see Mike dying this brutal death, and Elle just going AWOL.
Okay,
And just
that'd be awesome. That'd be
seeing
awesome.
her just passionate and just wanting to kill Vecna because Mike died because
Ooh,
I could see that. I
that would
could see
sting.
Jonathan die. I can see so much, but this season kind of threw me off a little bit too because it wasn't even close to what I thought.
Mhm.
You know.
People and
But
their
just with
fake predictions
yeah,
ruining
yeah,
things.
yeah. No, totally. Yep.
But I totally agree. I could totally see Will dying. He just seems so affected.
Oh yeah.
Like,
No.
like the
And
thought,
he might be the hero, and I could see him.
Yeah.
I could see him
Yes,
sacrificing
that's what
himself.
I was gonna say. Through his connection, he
Yep.
saves
he's gonna
with
be the
information or something. But I just
Yep,
feel
yep.
like if Vecna dies and like the Upside Down is destroyed, I feel like he goes with it. That's my feeling.
one. Oh yeah. No, because he's so deeply
He's so-
connected.
yeah.
100%.
So I think he's gonna
100%.
die. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, other than that, I feel like a lot of shows tend to have like a big battle in some form in the last
Yep.
season. So I could see like men against the upside down, like in terms
so
of like cops and
yeah,
military.
So you think, okay.
I could see like a freaking
So it's not going to be
war.
just the kids.
No.
Yeah.
I think that is blown out the window now that literally the whole world knows.
The city's on fire.
Yeah, and everyone can see that there's hell has opened up from below, and I love that symbolism as well. It looks like freaking hell is coming.
Oh, totally.
But yeah, I think this is man against the upside down with L, with the kids. They're not taking charge of the people, obviously. They're not going to give it to them. But they're somehow going to, through Will's
do their own
connection. Yeah, through their own connection, L will destroy Vecna, and there will be a major catastrophe. And that's what I think it's going to be pretty freaking good, hopefully.
Yeah.
As long as it's not just too much fighting, because we need those other good moments that make Stranger Things so good. But yeah.
My biggest hope for the next season is I hope they don't bring in anyone new.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like every season they bring in someone new, and then they have to make a big old storyline with that character, bring him into the fold,
which
and
just takes time away from it.
It does. I just hope this next season it goes straight into the original cast, a couple of the side characters, and just go in. Oh, Murray's one of my favorites, too.
Oh, Murray. Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah. Except
so
you could consider him the base character, because I think he was in the very first episode of season 1. I think he was. I think he talks.
Was he?
I think he talks to Hopper, and there's he's crazy.
Yeah. Yep. You're right.
Yeah. But I don't think I don't think he's in season 1 other than that, though. But
other than that, I think he's just talking to him.
Yeah.
Or is that? Yeah. Anyway,
Murray's
but
good.
yeah. No, I like Murray, but yeah, I don't know where this is gonna go. I really don't. A lot of speculation.
Mm-hmm. That's all we got. Probably. I wonder if it'll take him a year or 2 to do it. Like last,
I'm guessing 2
years. Yeah.
Well, it's gonna be good.
If that's everything, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bless you.
See ya.